Let's make sure everyone's good. How is everyone today? It's Fabulous Friday. How's everyone feeling? Okay, perfect. I am live. There's a crazy storm, so hopefully we can keep everything going without too many issues. So happy Fabulous Friday. I'm like right on time, exactly at 4 o'clock. Well done. I mean, I'm usually on time, but I don't know if I'm always exactly on the dot, but I was today. But I'm wearing my cute ears. Well, it's Christmas today. Today I'm going to show you a Christmas craft because, you know, when you get to Christmas month, it's a little bit harder to do Christmas crafts. So I always recommend you do them like in October, maybe November, early November, because then it's like finished. Because, you know, once you get to actual Christmas December, it's chaotic with all the things you have to do and prepare for family and all these different things. So I usually don't recommend doing them then. I recommend you do them now. So what I wanted to remind you guys of, and I have advertised on my page, is this your pet's Christmas countdown. And it is so stinking cute. I'm just going to slowly roll. It's kind of big for the camera. I'd have to totally pull back to, and it has all these little animals on the countdown. What you get for $45, you get the calendar, and it's already put together. The only thing you have to add are the decorations. So the numbers, the animals, the little ribbon trims, that kind of stuff. The boxes are already even assembled, and they're nice and sturdy too. They're not even like flimsy, which sometimes can happen. And these are actually really nice and sturdy. I could see this lasting a really long time. I actually am in love with this. I just couldn't think it was cuter. So you would get this, everything you need for this, everything you need for 6 really large gift tags, pet gift tags. And these are, you know, intended, so you just slap them right on a plain gift. You slap one of these on the gift, you're done. You don't even need a bow because you have this. Like, this is essentially the bow. And so they're really cute. And they're all with the animals from the Sweet Stockings stamp set. Okay, and you get a full pack of this paper, of this designer series paper here, the one that's featured on the Advent calendar or the Christmas countdown calendar, and all this, the corgi paper, all of that's in. You get a full 12 by 12 pack. You get the Christmas countdown. You get the 6, everything you need for the 6 tags. You get a full pack of the Artistry Bloom sequins, and then you get 5 yards of the old olive gold ribbon and 5 yards of the real red gold ribbon, gold trimmed ribbon. It's like really pretty. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see the gold trim on the edges. You could have seen some of it on some of the crafts. So this alone was for $30 originally. So $30 for just this, and then of course the paper is $11.50, and then you're getting more than $57 worth of product for $45. And you're getting all the tutorials. You're going to get a video tutorial, a PDF tutorial, as well as bonus craft tutorial, card tutorials. Because you did tags, I thought I'd give you a card tutorial as the alternative. So that's a lot of stuff, like more than $57 worth of products for $45. And so it's really, really good. And so I hope you're able to pick it up and order it. It's in the link below on my page. Today's craft, I'm going to be featuring the designer series paper from this kit, the Sweet Stockings paper. It is just so, so cute. Oh yeah, I had it handy here so I could show it off before we do our little craft. So be sure to sign up for that. I only have 5 more spots. So I had 8 and now I only have 5. So the spots are going pretty quickly. So be sure to sign up. Yeah, thanks so much. So let's go ahead and get started on our craft. Today we're going to make 2 cards. They're so cute. Okay. All right, so today I wanted to show you two things before we get started. So here's the designer series paper we're going to be using. Here, it's called the Sweet Stockings, and it comes in a 12 by 12 size. This is just to show you what the paper looks like in a handy little sample. This is a sample just because, you know, the 12 by 12 is kind of cumbersome to like whip out. So you have the golden retriever and the cat in a box. Then you have red stripes on the back. Where's the camera? There we go. And then you have the grumpy cat, which is like just the cutest thing ever, and the little bird. I love the bird and the grumpy cat and the dog. The wreath dog, actually, I kind of like too. I just like that design. And the back side has this great little like sweater texture, like not like it has like a hand stitched texture. Then this cute one with the stockings, the animals in the stockings, so sweet. The little mouse even, and the little hamster. And the back side of that, this one is this is my second favorite of the B-side paper. So pretty. I love how the design is just really unique, but not too, I don't know, not too flashy. I like that the colors are non-traditional Christmas colors too. And so here's the one with the collie, and look at the goldfish, so sweet. And then the back side is traditional, you know, olive green, and I think that's mossy meadow. And then this, I think, is my favorite of the designer series paper besides the grumpy cat page. And the back side has pool party check. And then this one here has the stockings, which was also fun. And actually the designs on the stockings are really nice too. And the back side of that has stars. And so it's really sweet paper. So I actually recommend signing up for the class because it's just such a great value. So hopefully you guys will sign up and we'll be good to go. All right. So today, and so I wanted to show you two things before we get started. There are some dots here that we're going to be using when we do our second card. All right, I'm going to move that aside. So when we do our second card, there are these dots, these matte dots. Okay. There's cherry cobbler, and then there's this, what color of green is that? It's, they say this is Bumblebee. I think, oh, Old Olive. This is Old Olive, but it's a very light version of Old Olive. And then this is Evening Evergreen. But in the catalog, it doesn't look green at all or teal. This almost looks like a dark pool party color. So when you look here, the image is actually misleading. So I don't know if they just changed the design later or if it just somehow the color, it's not. I thought this was black. I really thought that these were black dots. They're not black. They're actually this Evening Evergreen color. I'm so glad I got a sample of this from my upline Candy because she actually will have little product shares, which maybe I can eventually move to, but you know, one thing at a time. And we're also going to be using this pool party ribbon. But yeah, so, and I mark off things that I buy as I, you know, get through. But these are actually a really great value. They're $8 and you get 180 dots. And they're nice and really nice. But I wanted to point out that this catalog was misleading for the color. I genuinely thought they were black. I really didn't. Because, you know, I can't afford to buy everything in the catalog to see what it is in real life. I'm a very, you know, simple, you know, stamper, basic stamper. I don't have endless quantities of money, you know, to buy samples of everything. So I was shocked when I saw that this is actually a blue, or it's almost like a teal is how it looks. So I wanted to let you guys know of that little change so that you were aware. So we're going to be using this stamp set today. We're just going to be using this one little sentiment, peace, joy, and kisses. And we're not going to be using any of the others today. Yeah, we're using a candy cane because I just really like the candy cane. And so we're going to be using that. Okay. And we're going to be using this big tag and a couple of the stockings, as well as this piece here goes at the top of the stocking. These little, it's the toe, this is the heel. And so you'll see when I pull out the pieces, how they go together. So I'm actually going to start with this one just because it's out and ready. So I probably should just get it started before I lose pieces to it or something. So we've got and we're using Cherry Cobbler ink. So our card is going to look like this. La, 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 la. I actually was surprised by how I designed these cards today because it's not really my style to make a card that's several layers thick. I usually only stick to max 3 layers. But I was so inspired by this little bird. I wanted to really make him pop. So I designed this card, and look, it's like he's putting the little letter inside the stocking. It's just so sweet. I had a bird that looked just like this, and her name was Hop Sing, and she was the sweetest bird to me. She loved me. And this paper, oh, this isn't Old Olive. This is actually Pear Pizzazz, this paper. This is not Old Olive. So this is Pear Pizzazz paper, and just a basic card base. Then we have one layer of white, 1/4 inch less. So this is 4 and a quarter by 11 for the full length. And this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's scored at 5 1/2, by the way, like a standard card base. And then this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches for the red layer. And then I'm going to measure the yellow when we get to that part. But it's just such a fun card. I really liked making it, and I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it. And then we have all our little stocking pieces. We also have to get our bird and add that on. So just basic alignment. So this is the back side of the Grumpy Cat paper that has the bird on it. But I really liked this design, so I thought, hey, let's throw this one on here. I was having a little trouble designing it. I just really wanted to use that bird. And I had these extra stocking pieces from when I was preparing the Advent, or the countdown, not Advent calendar, the calendar countdown, because an Advent calendar is a little different, I was told. But that's what I always thought a countdown calendar was. I guess it's a religious term. I didn't know that it was religious only. So it's just a Christmas countdown calendar, because it really isn't particular to any religion. You could use it, you could use it for anyone that just likes to celebrate Christmas. It doesn't have to be religious, the religious version. My students are not from the United States, and most of them are not Christian. So I teach international military students for the U.S. Air Force, and so a huge majority of them are Muslim. And so many of them don't always understand Christian, because they come from an all-Muslim country, so they don't always understand the, I need to move forward a little bit more, sorry. So they don't always understand. I remember having a student, he said, "Miss, why Santa Claus very fat in the red?" And I thought that was just so funny. It never occurred to me that he would think that Santa Claus, he said, "Why Jesus?" He thought Jesus and Santa Claus were the same. Because just culturally he was unaware, because, he doesn't celebrate that in his country. So it was just made sense. I didn't even notice. I thought it was just a funny thing that he was unaware of. And so we had to talk about the difference between the two in a very, professional way, not in a, proselyting way. But, was very grateful because he really misunderstood. He thought Santa Claus and Jesus were the same thing. So I thought it was kind of a funny thing, you know, just to hear as an American. So we'll go ahead and glue. Oh, I need to stamp my peace, love, and joy. I made the mistake last night. I put it all together and forgot to stamp this on. So let me stamp that on now. Or peace, joy, and kisses. I actually like that it says kisses because I often say that. I love to say love and kisses when I say goodbye. And I'm going to put my peace, joy, and kisses just in the little corner. Ooh, there was a hair. Okay, let me get it off. Let me flip it over. There we go. There was a hair either on the pad or just on the stamp. You know, my life and the cat hair, you know, such is life. So we've got our peace, joy, and kisses. Oh, and then I wanted to stamp on the inside a little candy cane and on the envelope. I just think the candy cane is such a sweet little token to add to your Christmas card. So I'll stamp that on the inner corner. And then I always love to stamp on my envelope. So I love to stamp. Oop, there's my cat hair on there. The cat must have jumped up here before I started filming because this was all like clean. All right. And on the envelope, I'm not so worried about any errors because, you know, the envelopes get pretty beat up in the mail anyway. So, and then you always want to stamp in the left corner because that side is the one that doesn't really get stamped, or you don't put any stamps on it. You don't have to put any of the you don't put stamps on that corner. They also don't run the machine ink through that corner. And so let me set this aside. Perfect. So I got a little mark there, but that's okay because this is where I'll put my address. No one will even know. All right, so we'll glue down. We'll glue down our pieces. I love cherry cobbler. It has such a nice, rich color. Real red is pretty, but there's something about the cherry cobbler that has like a richness. Well, it is a regal. It's called a regal color in our catalog. I tend to usually like the brights. That's what real red is. I think pumpkin pie, daffodil delight, granny apple green, gorgeous grape. The bright colors obviously are brights, but the regals tend to be the richer colors. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our twine. And this twine is from the Playful Pets. I think it's called Playful Pets Ribbon Pack, or Playful Ribbon Pack. I can't quite remember the name. It's from last year, actually. We had a paper that had animals on it last year, and it was a really sweet, yeah, Playful Pets trim combo. It's $7.50, and you get this roll, and you also get a red stitched roll. And so it's really actually nice because you get 2 rolls in one, which I really appreciate always. So like having that variety. So I'm gonna put it just about right there. I can always, and remember, I'm gonna just attach it with a little bit of tape. So I tend to find that the tape the good thing is the tape is repositional. Usually, you know, it might tear up a little bit of your, cardstock if you really adhered it very strongly, but it's not gonna tear through. And And so sometimes I need to realign it based on that. So there we go. And then we're going to put our stocking. I want to make sure the ribbon is going to be the right place. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think I need it a little bit higher. It's a little too low. So we'll move it up. But again, see, that's why I use the tape, because it's just a little easier to maneuver. Move it up just a little bit more. And let's see how the stocking looks there. Yeah, that's good, because I wanted the stocking to just kind of look, oh, I forgot to add my little bow there. I'll add that on. I wanted to come up just a little bit from the bottom. It's not going to kill me if it went a little far down. It's just, I wanted it up a little bit. And then these pieces are all from the die pack. And so you just cut these out. Now, if you were to take my class, I have all of these pieces cut for you. The only thing you would need to cut would be the animals. But for the calendar, I would have these pieces already cut for you. So if you were interested in the Christmas countdown calendar, I hope that you're able to tune in for that or sign up for that. All right, so we put our little toe on. And it's funny, the stocking is cute as is, but as soon as you add these little layers, and they're stitched as well, which makes it even better. I might even have you, oops. Good thing I'm going to cover that up with a little piece, because there's a little extra glue. Although you can always wait. If you wait 5 minutes, when the glue is totally dry, you can take your glue eraser and you could easily pick up that little bit. This will be covered, so I'm not going to fuss with it too much. And so I love these dies. The stitching on these dies, they're so sweet. Maybe because my grandmother was a great seamstress. She was self-taught. She could make anything I asked her to make. It didn't matter what it was. I would just call her and tell her, I want this. Or I'd show her a picture of it, and she would make it. She was really gifted at that. Especially costumes and stuff, I'd tell her the things that I wanted. And so I just love that detail. So we're going to have that there, and we're also going to have our little bird. Now, the cool thing about using this particular, the next card that we're going to have, I'm going to show you how I used the edge of the paper where the dog was a little bit cut off. And, you know, because you usually wouldn't use this dog because his tail's cut off and his foot's cut off. But I'll show you why I use this on the next card. So I'll cut out my little bird. And remember, you always move the paper and not your scissors. I know, Kitty. Your life is so hard. I know. He's just so tortured. Okay. Okay. And so you just trim up your little bird. It's funny that I designed this entire card just for this bird, but I had a bird just like it. So I was really inspired. We all have our animals that we, you know, love and care about. And so I was just really inspired by that particular animal. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll add our little dimensionals in the back here for our stocking. I'm going to put 3. And I want it to hang down. Oh, I guess, yeah, I want to press it down because I'm also going to add dimensionals to the back of this yellow piece. And I found it was easier to, I got the cats a new scratching toy and they're just, it's all day long. I hear that noise. I'm glad that they're using the scratching toy, but, all right, And so I'm just gonna pop this. Let me see if I can do it right side up. There we go. Because I want the bird to be able to look like he's putting the letter into the stocking, like on my sample. Okay, and so there we go. That looks good. And then we're gonna put one little dimensional in the back of our bird, and we'll put him at just the right angle so that it looks like he's putting it into the actual stocking. Like he's on the line of it. And then I realized I didn't attach my stocking, and I think I'll add a little bow of twine so that I can attach my stocking. I think that's a good option. My fingers are clumsy today. Just add a little bow. I love this twine. This black and white twine is my fave. It's nice and thick. It's actually not that soft, which I like that it's like a real twine, because sometimes you'll get a twine and it's too soft. It just slides through your fingers, but this one doesn't do that. Let's see, do I want it with or without? Yeah, I think I want it with. I don't like it just out there. So we'll add a little glue dot and put it on there. Remember, if you comment and share, then I'll put you in for the drawing for my cards that I made today. All right, so sweet. I love that little bird. I love that bird. I'm gonna tie another little bow for this other one. Well, I guess I can do that later. And then I'm gonna just pop this with some dimensionals on the back. Like I told you, this is an unusually thick card. I normally don't make cards this thick, but I wanted this to be a little bit more. So I actually, I put them away. I actually had used the long strips of dimensional to pop it up on that one, and I don't know where they are. I put them away. So we'll just use these edges that I cut off from another card. And I always like to put a little something in the middle. And so, because I really want this whole thing to really stay popped up. It'll cave in the middle if you don't put at least one in the middle. I don't like that. So, all right. And so we're gonna pop this on. That looks about right. Yeah, that looks good. Then, like I was telling you about before, about these dots, they're the matte dots on, they're the matte, oh gosh, I forget what the name of it is. It's called the matte, it's on page 31. Matte decorative dots. And like I was showing you in the catalog before, so it's on page 31. The matte decorative dots. It looks black. Even online it looks black. But they're actually not black. They're actually this teal looking color. Well, I didn't want to use any of the teal on this particular card. I'm just going to use, I think just the, well, I might use a green one this time. I didn't use a green one last time. I'll add a green one here, an old olive. It's a very light old olive. And then I'll add a yellow. And then I'll add a red. Okay, just a couple. And so I just, I don't know, it's kind of thick, but I don't know, it's a really pretty design. I don't normally go so many layers, but I just loved it. So that is our first card. And I remember I stamped the envelope, so I'm all good to go with my stamped envelope. And then we're going to move on to our next card, which is also a winner. Oh, I got to put the inside in. I always like to have it, even though with the old olive, You can, or it's Pear Pizzazz. Pear Pizzazz is the color of this particular paper. Even though it's a lighter green and you can totally write on it, I always feel like cards are a little more finished when I add this little piece inside, or even a white piece of copy paper. I've actually seen where you just take the same length, 4 inches by 5 1/4, or by 10 3/4, and you fold it in half and you just put a little bead of glue right here, and then it almost looks like a vellum that you're folding in. That's another, you know, just so people have something to write on. I just feel like it looks more finished when you have white on the inside. But, you know, sometimes I'll forget to put white on the inside. You always have to put white, obviously, when it's a black or something. All right, so then we have our other adorable card, which is this winner here. And I stamped my envelope as well. And so this is from the designer series paper, all 3 of these images. They are not stamped. I didn't stamp anything on this particular card. I just used the large tag and the designer series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we did this one. And the reason why this is also a good one is this dog, his body, I showed you, it was partially cut off of the edge of the page. This is a good one to try and use up some of those animals that got cut off on the edge of the designer series paper. You're always going to have some animals that are cut off or partially cut off. This isn't a good example, but there's always going to be some animal where, see, part of his body's cut off here, part of his body's cut off there. Well, you could still use those, but you just have to find a better use for them. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my, I'm going to stamp my envelope, and then I'll put away my stamps. Tomorrow I'm having my first live class since the pandemic started. First face-to-face class. It's a $10 class, or free with the $20 order. I'm trying to figure out how to do that as an online as well, but just one thing at a time. So, all right, so this is our envelope. Okay. I think I'll open it up. Sometimes you just need to let that cherry cobbler dry. All right, so standard card base again. It's Pool Party, because there's a lot of Pool Party in this designer series paper. This is the back side of the paper that has the little baby animal stocking. I mean, they're so sweet. Look at that little grumpy cat. And so this is 4 1/4 by 11, and then you score it at 5 1/2. Then this is 4 inches wide, 4 inches tall here, and then 5 1/4 inches long. That's just your standard that you use for most layers. When you want to go down a layer and make it look nice, you just go down by 1/4 inch. So always move down the ruler by 1/4 inch. I didn't know this. Someone had to teach it to me, so I'm always telling people about it. I wasted a lot of paper trying to figure out how to make layers. I just had the hardest time measuring it until I had someone show me on the ruler why the layers looked that way, why they looked right when you went down. I couldn't figure out the templates. I don't know, maybe I'm just slow, but it just was something beyond me. I just couldn't figure it out for a long time. So, oh, there's a little goop on the edge of my... You know, I don't know if you guys remember, but I have said that this glue was dying for weeks now, and it's still going. Just a tiny bit still coming out. As long as you keep it upside down, you're always going to get a little bit of glue. So my face-to-face class tomorrow is just 2 cards for $10. So I'm excited about that. It's just a new thing I'm going to try. We're going to go to a restaurant because I still want to my apartment is really tiny. I mean, having And I already have 10 people signed up. Okay, so remember, you move the paper. I'm actually going to cut him down. Okay, move the paper, not the scissors. And so I'm super excited. I have, I think, just about 10 people. I don't know if all will show because I didn't do the registration ahead deal. I had them RSVP, but this next time I'm going to have them register ahead. And so that way I know exactly who's coming based on who paid and go from there. You see, I keep moving the paper back and forth so that I can cut down the antlers and not the other way. Just a trick. I don't know where I learned that trick, but I'm so glad I did. Probably learned it from my grandmother. I learned like everything from her. I love this grumpy cat. Don't forget you can sign up for my Christmas countdown with the link below. I think it's right below this video on my main page. It has a picture of that Christmas countdown. So cute. So this is the Y, this is the J, and now we need our O. And so like I told you, this is actually the corner of my paper. And so it chopped off his tail and part of his foot here, one of his feet. So now I could probably find another way to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and use it here for my O because I probably wouldn't use him for something else. So let's just, because a lot of people won't use that corner one because his body parts are cut off. Well, I'm showing you how you can use them anyway. Waste not, want not. I actually also usually take one sheet of, if there's a really cute animal or character on a designer series paper, what I'll often do is I will take one sheet. This was the same sheet. I'll take one sheet and I'll just cut out animals. And then the other sheet, I'll use it for like lining a card like this. And so here's my JOY. I cased this from someone on Demonstrator Planning Place. I'm not sure who. She had done it. There we go. Sorry guys. It was locked because someone was calling. I put it on Do Not Disturb. I wonder what happened. And this big tag, it's actually a scrapbooker's dream. Oops, I need to move my dimensional just a little bit because I don't want it to come off. I'm actually going to pop this tag up. I wanted it to be a little bit more, I wanted it to have a little bit more dimension. So, and then we've got our J, O, and our Y. So let me put, I think just the two, because I think his little, yeah. I have a cat outside. There's a stray cat outside. He actually, oops, I'm putting it up upside down. There's a stray cat outside. We call him Scarface. And he looks like this, poor thing. He's had a hard life, but everyone kind of spoils him. He just kind of hangs around. He's like a real tomcat. All right, we'll put a couple in the center here. And put his cute little face. I like that his face is in the wreath. I think that's a fun option. Oh, dimensionals. Move it up just a little bit. It's hard to do these upside down for you guys in the video. And I know some people just keep going, but I don't want to waste a card and have it be totally totally crooked. All right. And I should, like I told you before, I should actually have gotten my long strip dimensionals out for this, but it's over here on the side. I can't reach it, so I'm just gonna put some. I'll use like 1,000 on here. I have long stripped dimensionals. They sell them mainly for like shaker cards, where you'll take the long strips to try and trap the confetti inside, and I don't use it that often because I don't make too many dimensional or shaker cards. So then we put our little tag, and I don't put the tag flat. You can if you want, but I always feel like this shape, I want it to look like it's a gift. And this is the pool party striped ribbon, and I'm not going to tie a bow with it because I think a bow will be a little bit too big on this particular card. I think I'm just going to tie it in a little knot. That's always a good option, you know, if you don't want to tie bows with your ribbon. It's always a good option to just tie a knot and then flag the ends, and you'll still get the effect of a bow without being a bow. There's my glue. There are my glue dots. Oh, there they are. I tend to keep them in the box because I don't want them to get messed up. All right, so there's my little tag. That card turned out so sweet. Oh, I did need another sheet. I wanted to put the candy cane on the inside. Oops, I just realized I needed to do it down here in this corner because it's a sideways card. Live and learn. So I think the effect of these designs is really good, but the actual design's very small. Oh, I need to tell you the measurements of the yellow. I just realized I forgot to tell you the measurements of the yellow over there. I think they're 3 inches by 3 1/4 squares. And then we'll add a few of these little dots. Now, because I have the pool party, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this evening evergreen and use some of these dots on here. I just ordered some more of these. La, 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 la. Or maybe I'll put this yellow one. Put this yellow one. Oops. I'll keep that yellow one there. I was thinking I'll move. Oh, it is not going to move. There it is. I'll move this green one over here and put a red one here. A little off center. Just thought I'd have a little red. And I always do it in odd numbers. I don't usually do even numbers. I just find the design to be a little bit better. So there is our card. So cute. J-O-Y. And I didn't put any stamps other than that little candy cane because I think that's all it needed. So these are the matte decorative dots. And for my bird card, let's check out, remember this is the Sweet Little Stockings stamp set that I used for the sentiment. And the dies are the stocking dies. And this is the Playful Pets twine. For this yellow square, I just realized it is, oh no, it's 3.5 by, let's see, 3.5 by 3 1/4. So the yellow, the bumblebee, is 3 1/4 by 3.5. I thought it was a square, it's not. And so that means this one's going to be the white is 3 inches by 3 1/4 this way. Okay, so because again, I went down by 1/4 inch. But I only learned those things because someone told me and taught me about it. So, well, I hope you liked these cards. I love how they turned out. And oh, the pool party ribbon is what we used over here. So I have a sample from a product share. So, such a fun little set. And this, I mainly used the paper. That was what I tried to feature, was the paper. And sometimes we forget that the paper can just be the feature. And so I use these as the design and the basic things, other than the sentiment, you know. But, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed my little class. Make sure you comment and share, and then I can put you in for the drawing for these cards. And I hope you have a great Friday. Wow, I got done in 45 minutes. Good job. I usually try to get done quicker, but these cards have a few more steps. But so, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.